Today we're going to be going ahead and installing a Quadlock wireless mount system. It's going to mount right over here. It's going to mount right over here on the stem. So let's get started. All right, so far I do see this is going to be the easiest part. This does have a little cap here. You have to remove. There's a bolt inside of that then we'll go ahead and expand this out so it'll hold it nice and tight inside the fork stem. That's going to be the easy part. I am going to have to remove the gas tank, probably the side covers in the rear seat to be able to get to the battery, so I can then go ahead and hook up this USB power source. This doesn't come included with the guys. You do have to buy this separately. I will go add this inside of my description. All right, so the first thing I'm going to try to take off is going to be this side covering. I do want to see if I can take off as minimal items as possible. If I can do this without having to take off my gas tank, fantastic. So we'll start over here and see what we got in the middle. This guy is a 5/32 bit, X bit. Does look like we're gonna have to remove this seat first because it does have like a sliding piece. So you're gonna want to slide it out this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the seat first, and then we'll go ahead and continue with the side panel. And to get these guys out, all right, not the same bit, but there's two screws, basically 1 and 2, and then that should slide over here. There should be 2 slide-in clips that'll basically hold that into place, so we just have to slide out. All right, so that does turn out to be a size 5 millimeter. That basically just has this guy here, slides into here. So just pull it out and up, and that'll remove that seat cover. Okay, the side panel is right over here. We're just gonna slide that back ever so gently. So that's the sliding piece that I was talking about. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to zoom in a little bit here, or get this camera off the mount. Let me show you. So this is that sliding clip I was talking about. Basically, this slides into that one, and this pin over here slides into this guy here. I removed this bolt over here. It was a 5 millimeter, and I'm gonna go ahead and take out this bolt over here, which should be that 5/32 bit, just enough so I can try to pull this back to see if I can follow the harness back to the battery without having to remove the tank. I think I'm gonna be able to do this. Bring you guys down over here. If we look on the inside over here, you got the coolant pipe, but we have the harness right above that. So my intention is to try to zip tie it to that harness and then come up right about over here, from down here to over there, and then run it underneath this guy here, and then hook up to that harness one more time, and then connect to the positive and the ground side over here, the battery. Up to you guys how you guys want to do it. You may want to hook up to an ignition, so that way it doesn't always, it's not always hot and possibly draining the battery. But on this Quadlock, it does have a power switch, so it's going to be turning it off when I'm going to be turning it off when I don't need to use it. So I'm not going to worry about that, but I do want to have the ability to charge it if I'm kind of hanging by the bike and the phone is connected to it. All right guys, so with this one, I'm going ahead and using those screw holes for my zip tie to go through. This guy is, it's rubber, so it's a little pliable, so I can kind of force that through it. And then I'm gonna opt to try to mount it on the back side of the ignition. So that way it's a nice secure hold and shouldn't move anywhere. So this is where I've mounted it, right over here. See the cap pop off. There's my USB connection. And when I don't need it, I go ahead and cap it up. It's nice and good. There's actually a little lip over here, if you can kind of see it, that'll hold that zip tie from sliding down off of the ignition cylinder. So that should be nice and snug when I'm riding. All right, one thing that I do want to do for certain is go ahead and cover these wires up. So that way they're protected. Just using some electrical tape. You don't want to go all the way to the end, obviously. You just want to kind of leave a little bit so that way you can separate and connect to the positive and the negative terminal on the battery, if that's where you choose to mount it. If yours is going to be connected to the ignition or something like that, you definitely don't want to tape the whole entire wire. Just tape it up to the point that you need where it connects to that power source for the hot wire. And then if you want to do that for the ground wire, same thing, but you probably have them separate. All right, so I made it through. Made myself a little fishing tool with this zip tie. Fed it through here. Now I'm gonna be on the top side of that harness. I'll zip tie it to that so it doesn't get caught up in the coolant hose. And it should be good. Show you guys what I got so far. Here's my wire. I fished it through. It's going up over here. This guy over there. And then on the other side of that, it's over here. This guy connected to my USB mount. I do want to go ahead and tape that connection so it doesn't disconnect or come loose while I'm riding or anything like that, or have room for water to get in there so easily. That's not gonna make it waterproof, but it'll help. I gave it a little slack too, just in case I'm turning. That way it has a little play. You don't want it to be too tight, and then it'll definitely rip apart. All right, just gonna go ahead and zip tie it to the harness. And then one more zip tie for the harness above the coolant hose, because again, I don't want that to melt or get too hot and then run into issues. Now we just got to go ahead and connect it to the battery, which is nice. Thank you, Yamaha, because they're right on top and they're not very hard to get to, which is great. I thought they were going to be a pain in the butt to get to. All I did was go underneath the harness over here, and then go ahead and go underneath the terminal, so that way I can kind of bend that down enough so that way I'm able to go ahead and put the boot on top of it still. I still do want it to have protection from the elements as best we possibly can. We might not be able to do that. I might have to snip that a little bit still. Oh, okay. There we go. Nice. Nice and protected. You almost don't even notice that that's there. It's fantastic. That's what we want. Great. Now we got our power source connected. Now I have to go ahead and mount up the big guy. So this is the trusty Quadlock tool. You got to go ahead and remove it. This little nut, this little screw here. Just so you can take this off and then remove this guy out. So otherwise, it's actually threaded through. So you won't be able to go ahead and remove that. So you need to mount this first. Secure this guy. It's pretty cool. Makes it nice and secure, which is great. Nice and tight. So it won't go anywhere. Now we can go ahead and push this guy back on. Push this guy on. And I did go ahead and add the dampener. I was reading that could possibly damage your phone and the touchscreen capability of it. So I just want to make sure that's not an issue with my phone. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't have tons of money to keep buying new phones all the time. So wanted to make sure that my phone is safe. Now we're just going ahead and popping in that screw that we took out. So here is I want to say that's about a 12 to 16 inch cable. It's probably way too long for what I need right now, but that's okay. Okay, that works out really well. I really thought I was going to have an issue when turning the handlebars, but as you can see, it just makes it in there. So I think we're good. I don't think we're going to have any issues at all there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Awesome. I'm gonna grab my phone, slip those guys in the ends. All right, I'm gonna go grab my phone and then we'll go test this guy out. All right, guys, so up to you how you guys go ahead and purchase the cases and stuff like that, the accessories to go ahead and mount to the actual mount itself. I did purchase the Quadlock case for my 11 Pro, and I also got the poncho. This I bought just in case if it's like raining. Hopefully that's gonna help to prevent it from getting super drenched. I did notice, I'll tell you this though, once you go ahead and pop this guy into the case, make sure you're gonna keep it in there because this guy is super hard to come out. But that's good though. You don't want it to easily fall out while riding for sure. You want it to protect your phone. All right, let's test this guy. All right, so I'm gonna test it out with the poncho just because. Let's go ahead and try to mount this guy. If I remember correctly, have to push this guy down, and that locks into place. And then press the power button, and lo and behold, that starts charging. If I don't want it to charge, like I said, turn off that power button in the back, and then it stops charging. Awesome. I gotta test that out and check it out what works best for me when I'm riding it to adjust it. But so far, I think that looks really good. My only concern is the popping in the key. That kind of becomes a pain in the butt. But we'll check that out, adjust it as we need. But for now, I think that's a great solution to be able to charge your phone while riding and use it for like GPS on the go. All right, the last thing we got to do is just go ahead and button everything back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed through that and meet you in the end. GoPro, stop recording. All right guys, so we're all set. Everything's buttoned back up. One thing that I did adjust was the mount of it. So let me show you. Turn that over to the side a little bit so it's out of the way of the ignition cylinder. I could turn the key no problem at all, because before it was kind of getting in the way. So readjusted that. Now that's all done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate any feedback you guys need. Only helps me to make better videos and create better content for anybody that's out there. So once again, guys, I hope this video helps you guys out. If you haven't already, definitely go ahead and take a look at my other videos and any new videos to come. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next content. Like always, guys, ride safe, take it easy.